Let's move on to round number 2, fellas. Mobb Deep versus M.O.P. Who had? I think you might like this. If you're a real fan of both groups, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Who had the better first record? And when I mean first record, talking about what was obviously known to the public, okay, but still legitimately released. We're talking about
M.O.P.
Triple C, already on the Triple C. He understands how this goes down. We're talking about Mobb Deep's first album release. I believe this was 1993 release.
Peer Pressure, hit it from the back.
Juvenile Hell. Peer Pressure by Mobb Deep. If you know, you know. It goes something like this. There's a video for this too, by the way.
Yep.
They walking around with that big, I don't know what you call that shit to cut grass, but the Grim Reaper walks around with it.
Yeah.
The pressure. Got to find a way to deal with the pressure. I gotta talk too. I'm trying to make you, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They sounded, or they grew up vocally so fast from album to album, bro.
Word. Speak on it, Ike, speak on it.
I said they grew up vocally from album to album. They sound like Juvenile Hell, and then they sound like grown ass men from the second album. You know what I mean?
That's why
I would have to agree with you.
That's why they don't count that album. They don't count that album.
Yeah. But I mean, but hit it from the back is that's still a pretty good record though, bro.
Yeah, I think it's a great record.
Both records are dope. They just didn't take them to where they needed to be. And again, everything happens for a reason. That's why we got that.
They were like 16.
Yeah, something about that. They were young, which means they probably recorded like at 15. You know, it'd be taking like a year for shit to come out.
Right.
They were babies. So again, we're talking about 1993's release of Peer Pressure by Mobb Deep on the Juvenile Hell album. But we can't forget about M.O.P's first introduction to the game. And if you know, you know. If you had the box, you was definitely familiar with it. Let's talk about How About Some Hardcore.
Oh,
yeah.
Two landslides.
Yeah, you gotta get
Brownsville.
Two landslides.
Yeah, we like it raw.
Yo, this is two landslides, man.
Yeah, it's a seesaw.
Yeah, straight up.
Definitely.
Straight up.
2022 in Brownsville still like that.
Definitely. I mean, as you all know, I'm not the biggest M.O.P. fan at all, but they got this one. How About Some Hardcore is a dope song.
DJ Ho, are you casting the first vote of the evening?
I'm casting my vote. Yes, I'm going.
M.O.P. Just so clear, M.O.P. The mash out
posse. The mash out posse, rugged, never smooth.
Clutch the pearls. Clutch
what
the
year
pearls.
Pearls remix.
Yeah, what year was that?
Pearls remix.
This is the year of our Lord 2022. August 1st.
Oh wow.
Fair enough. I mean, like, listen, it's a banger. Does anybody feel the same? Does anybody want to stand on the opposite side of this hill? Speak your mind, guys.
I'd love to see somebody stand on the opposite side of this hill.
I would too.
I'm agreeing. That was going last game. I mean, does anybody speak on why they feel How About Some Hardcore or their first memory about How About Some Hardcore? Since it looks like this is a
listen, man. I'm gonna say that I'm surprised that Hobo picked that one because
you know what's hot. He know what's hot,
but he know it's hot. But I would say that anybody that's disagreeing with that and going with Mobb Deep, I mean, you're gonna fall down that hill, man.
Yeah.
How About Some Hardcore? It's a classic, iconic, rob you on the street song. So it's like
it represents Brownsville to the fullest, man.
And how long did people not want to look past that record? Like that record.
Right.
I feel like people didn't want to incorporate M.O.P. with anything else besides that record. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, they're dope ass
That song
artists.
lingered around for a long time.
For a very long time. Yeah. A very long time.
I think that's one of their hottest songs that they put out to date, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's what put Fame on the map because Fame had a record out before that.
They got a lot of yo, that song is like iconic.
My
I mean, I wanted to put Juvenile Hell against To the Death, but I mean, I don't think people would have explored enough, music from both to ask a question like that tonight. So I wanted to sort of pick 2 songs off of each.
We could touch on it. Pause.
I mean, like I said, if you want to dissect it a little bit more, but I just want to make sure I get everybody's vote in the room before we dissect a little bit more because I want to move forward. But I want to talk about the topic if it wants to be talked about. But is everybody in this room officially voting MOP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't officially cast my vote. I am casting my vote, but you said I'm casting my vote for MOP, and you said the first time I heard that record, my best friend in school, we was both the new kids in school. He was from Queens. His older brother was mad cool with a bunch of DJs from Queens, Buddha Barber, Hollywood.
Shout out Buddha Barber.
A bunch of dudes, and somehow by accident they ended up with MOP's demo. So we were in the, it was Easter of that year, and we was bumping that, and everybody's who is this, and the song finally got played on Stretch and Bob by the summertime, but we had that joint a good 6 to 8 months before it was.
I would love to give Stretch and Bob that credit. For me, it was the box. It was definitely the visual. The video was the first thing I saw and heard, and I was like, "Oh, they serious."
The jukebox, right?
I think it was the jukebox that they put to the box, and then
I heard the song first, and I was like, "Wow, this is different."
Shout out D period for just being a monster producer. Period.
Yeah.
Unintended. But just to wrap up round number 2, we decided to take MOP Deep versus MOP. The 2 battles tonight. I mean, the 1 battle going on tonight with these 2 crews, these 2 duos, these 2 rap legends. And we decided to put Peer Pressure off the first album, Juvenile Hell, versus How About Some Hardcore off To the Death. And it looks like, just like the first round, a completely other side, tilted side of the house. We're back to going to the other side. It's like, now it's MOP round, so MOP officially on the board. This round goes entirely to fucking How About Some Hardcore, so shout out to MOP and DR period for that one. The score is officially tied up. Hobo, real quick, I'd love to know what the chat room's kind of talking about. What are they saying? Are they in agreement? Does everybody feel MOP as well? What they talking about? I like this one.
They appear to be in agreement with this one. D-Boy said, shout out to him. D-Boy said MOP for this round for sure. Black Moses said, "How about some hardcore? It's a fight waiting to happen." I also agree with that. There's a lot of fight music this evening.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
This evening.
I think the fight is actually occurring at the moment.
Music.
Again, round number 2, wrapping it up. MOP takes that round, officially putting them up on the board after Mobb Deep swept round number 1. It looks like both teams are on the board. It's officially a tie. Both teams on the board. Mobb Deep 1, MOP 1.